Hello and welcome to Rolling with Reviews. I'm Will, and with me as always is the one who's lost in the jungle.
Sarah.
And then she builds a temple and a palace and such. Anyway, we're here. We're doing a review of Monkey Palace. If you're curious about our two-player perspective and accessibility, check out our other video, Rolling with Two, Monkey Palace. Sarah, tell us a bit about this game.
All right, Monkey Palace is a jungle-themed game of light strategy that incorporates both collaborative and competitive elements. Players must strategically work together to construct the Monkey Palace out of Lego pieces while competing for the highest brick income and points. After the supply of pieces is exhausted and the final round ends, whoever has the most points wins. All right, so, Will, why did we get this?
We're big Lego fans.
Yeah.
And we got, when Lego was doing a whole series of board games, we pretty much bought most of them. I think we're missing like a store employee exclusive and a small expansion.
Right. And that's of that particular run because they made a few off board games before and after this board game line.
Yes.
So that's why I say we don't have all the Lego board games that exist, but we have most of that run that they did for a couple of years.
Yeah, for the longest time, that was like a majority of our board game collection.
Yeah,
so when this one got announced, we were definitely interested and picked it up as soon as it became available.
Yes, we did. And here we are. So what do we like about it?
The building experience. I mean, big Lego fans like to build, and this gives it to us.
Yeah, and there's points at which you feel really smart, like you did a really great placement and you made a lot of points. So there's very rewarding moments of, aha, I figured out how to optimally use all the pieces I have, and maybe I even did something to put the monkey in a place that's going to block my next opponent.
Yeah.
And block me in the future. Which can happen. The other thing is, while there's strategy here and you can feel very rewarded for that, it's also pretty lighthearted, so you can have fun without really focusing on the strategy.
Yeah, every time it came to my turn, my first concern was not how do I win, which is normally something that comes up when you play a board game.
Yes, usually.
This was more like, ooh, I just want to build the mostest that I can.
Which actually is almost synonymous with doing the best you can, because if you can put all your pieces out, generally speaking, that means you're going to make the most points.
But I'm not necessarily thinking of like, well, if I build this way, then I can definitely cut Sarah off and building this way.
That's true.
And do that. And it's like, no, I just want to see the palace go boom.
Wanted to get bigger and taller.
Yes.
And that can be fun.
Yes.
Okay, that's about all that we like about the game. So what we don't like is what you do each turn doesn't really vary. So as much as you can have those moments that are rewarding, you can also have a lot of turns where you're just not as engaged.
And this becomes a bigger problem in a two-player game because it doesn't say take this many building pieces and set them aside. It just says use all the building pieces, no matter the player count. So you are going to have more turns in a two-player game and fewer turns in higher player counts.
Right.
Which I think is a better balance of your attention span.
Agreed.
So you don't necessarily have to be paying attention to everybody's turn.
Right.
Just whoever's turn it is, let them focus on the build. They'll have fun that turn. And then when it comes to you, that's when you can check back in.
Yeah, because you actually really can't plan ahead because
you don't know what's going to be there.
You don't know what's going to be there. So you can't be like, oh, I'm going to build from that spot. Well, if you're playing a 4-player game, by the time it gets back to your turn, that spot might not be there, or it might have changed in such a way that you see something that's better.
Yeah. So you're going to have the most fun on your turn while you're building. And even though you get more at a 2-player game because the variability of what you do doesn't change all that much, you can actually get bored.
Yes.
So that's happened to Sarah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So she warns everybody about that.
Yeah, it just kind of overstays its welcome, and that happens more at a 2-player count, I believe. Yeah. We haven't played it at higher player counts, but I don't think it would because you have fewer turns.
Right. It's a game that's easily to be social.
Right, right. The other thing that we were really disappointed about is the production value of the whole thing is really low.
Yeah, not the parts. The parts are fine.
Well, I mean, they're Lego parts.
They're basic Lego parts, but everything that surrounds it. So the instructions, low paper quality, not stapled.
They're not stapled.
Small print.
They're not comprehensive. I mean, there's definitely questions. They're not well written.
Yeah.
So they leave you with questions, things you should do, but they aren't written in there.
Yeah, they gave a tray that's only for
three of the pieces.
3 of the 6 types of pieces. Even the quality of the box is a little thin.
Yeah. So the whole thing is like, it feels like neither company cared. They're like, we're doing our part, but that part, we're just, let the intern deal with it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, did we buy a prototype or did we get the actual finished copy? Because when Lego did the board games previously, they were thick boxes.
Yes.
They were great instructions.
High quality paper.
Yes.
Stapled. I'm sorry. I just can't.
Staples cost extra. I'm sorry.
I guess so.
And Asmodee makes decent games themselves. They make good quality boxes. They make good quality components. But for some reason, they came together and go, hey, let's cut costs.
Yeah.
And that was their game that they won at.
Yeah, I guess so.
So just beware of that.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to who this is for. It's going to be mostly family gamers and then some Lego fans. And the only thing I say about some Lego fans is because the rules are not well written.
Yeah.
If you haven't really played board games, I think this isn't as accessible as they wanted it to be.
Right.
Some of the concepts were a bit confusing, and it just wasn't laid out as well as it could have been.
Yeah, shuffle the decks. That's a simple rule that needs to be in there, but just wasn't.
Yes.
They just give you a picture and say, hey, these are the decks.
Yeah, here's your card. Set it up like this. And I'm like, that's a small little picture. Okay, I think I can figure this out. Which I did, but
Yeah.
It could be confusing to someone who's never played games before.
Right, and what is involved in, well, what makes a better gaming experience.
Right.
And fortunately, we played enough that we could read past what was there and then have the intended experience this is meant for.
Yep. All right, let's go over our ratings.
So for our ratings, we each have 1d6 worth of ratings to give. 1 is low, 6 is high. We give a number, a reason why, add them together, and see what it rolled for us. Sarah, what did Monkey Palace roll for you?
I give it a 3. I think it's solid. I think it will be good for a certain audience. Like we said, it's going to be for family gamers and some Lego fans. I mean, especially if you're gamers and Lego fans and you like abstract games, I think you're going to really like it. It just doesn't do anything for me because I got really bored. We're only really going to play it 2 players, and it just doesn't get me motivated to play it again. Even with the fact that we haven't actually tried the little butterfly and the frog, those little extra rule tweaks, I don't think would be enough.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, plus there's also
different
map boards.
That's true.
And some of them actually don't give you spaces all the way through, so you have to be even more creative with how you create the palace.
That is true.
So we'll check that out. For me, this might actually surprise you.
Okay.
I give it a 3.
Wow, that does surprise me. I figured you'd at least give it a 4.
Yeah, she knows I love Lego, and I did love the building experience. And this does seem like a very low score. However, I have to compare it to other board games I play, and it's a solid entry, and it's heads and tails above other Lego games.
That's true.
Lego
Some of
board
those
games
were bad.
Yeah, this finally actually zeroed in on the build experience needs to be part of the game when using Lego parts.
Right.
To make it a decent, if not good game. What you do on your turn probably needs a little bit more variety, which is what really hits and suffers. Despite my enjoyment of the game, I can definitely see there's a lot more that needs to be done, but this is a good step in the right direction because previous Lego games, I would have to sadly put 1s and 2s. I think
the problem with a lot of the previous Lego board games is the fact that they were games that used Lego to build the game, but then you didn't generally build anything. So
you didn't build anything really great
during the game, so you could have just made it out of other plastic pieces.
Yeah,
in other words, the Lego.
A lot of those other games were like, okay, you build all the components for the game. Awesome. Now roll a die and see what happens.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of those games came down to feeling like. This one actually took the parts and go, okay, we're going to do something with them.
Yeah.
So that's why it stands so much better. I think the game that is even above it, and probably I'd rate a 5, is probably Creationary.
Yeah.
Where it's Pictionary, but with building pieces. And that one actually stuck around longer than any other
yeah.
of the games because it was such a solid game.
Right. You're actually building with Lego as the intention of the game.
Yes. But I like to see what they've done here. This definitely feels a lot more board gamey than previous entries.
But it also uses Lego in an interesting way.
Yes. But it also gets hit from the poor quality of the production with... Rules probably need another pass. The box needs to be a better quality. Everything in it just needs another pass.
Yep.
Sad to say, but that's what it is.
So
6 out of 12.
Yeah.
It's halfway there.
Yes, it is halfway there.
Yeah.
It's a decent game, and I think for certain audiences, it would be a better choice.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a lot of people probably really disappointed in this.
Yeah, and I can see Lego fans liking the number of pieces being a good parts pack, but at its current price point, well, they know how deeply discounted previous games were.
So they'll just wait for sales.
They'll either wait for sales, or this will never get to that point because it is a better game than previous ones.
That is true.
So,
still has a ways to go, though, to actually make a more engaging Lego building board game.
Yes. All right, and Sarah.
Yes.
I know this game has a monkey.
Yes.
And it uses banana point. Why are banana points the whole goal?
Monkeys like bananas.
Are we monkeys?
Sometimes.
No, for this game, are we monkeys? Is that what's going on? I'm very confused with the theme of this game.
Yeah, it was like a short blurb that the monkey pulled the palace apart and we're rebuilding it. But whether we're monkeys, I don't think so, because I think we're minifigures.
But we get banana points.
Yeah, well, minifigures can like bananas too.
Whoa.
Maybe you should ask Nanaman.
He would understand.
He would.
All right, and we've been Rolling with Reviews. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach out to us on the various social media platforms at
Rolling with Two. That's TWO. We're on Blue Sky, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Discord, we have a channel on Tabletop Express. Check the show notes for the invite link.
If you have time, check out the other content Nanaman has found for you, because remember, he's rolling with you.